Masterpiece makers, I know that not everyone understands or enjoys dealing with digital marketing. All these algorithm talks, terms like marketing funnels and search engine optimization seem to add pressure and confusion to your already full schedule. Let's be honest. So, to help you out, we thought it would be cool to chat with an expert who can share to us some simple digital marketing tips to help you scale your business. Today's guest is Dylan Kohlstadt, founder and CEO of ShiftOne Digital Marketing Agency. They deliver world-class service, creative strategies, and impressive marketing campaigns to clients around the world. We'll be discussing the power of digital marketing, and Dylan will be sharing practical tips and tools to help masterpiece makers like you grow in this area without the fear and confusion. With that being said, on this show, we're passionate about building your faith and inspiring your business journey. I'm your host, Norbert Elnar, and this is the Making a Masterpiece podcast. Hello, Masterpiece Makers. Welcome to another episode of Making a Masterpiece. And today we are in for such a huge honor talking to Dylan. She is the founder and the brains and the power and the energy behind ShiftOne, a multi-awarded integrated marketing agency based in South Africa. And now they're really going global as well. So Dylan, what an honor. Welcome to our show.
Thank you, Norbert. Thank you for having me.
Wow, Dylan, I read your profile and I must say I am just in awe about your journey, your achievements, and how you've built ShiftOne. I think a lot of the people do not have an idea what an integrated marketing digital agency is. Can you please elaborate on this and what you guys do and how that journey led you to leading ShiftOne?
Thank you so much. Okay, so it's been wild. I studied marketing and I worked around the world before digital came out. I worked in Joburg in South Africa, Sandton in Cape Town, and then I moved up to London, worked there briefly, and then I moved to Australia, worked there briefly, and then I came back to South Africa, and then I worked in the cutting edge of digital marketing for 6 years, learned a lot about digital marketing, and then I was retrenched. Just had my baby and I was retrenched. And secretly, I was so happy because I've always had this dream of having my own agency. And so I thought that it's now or never. This is literally me. And it's funny because I was looking for another job and I had like my foot in two boats. My foot was in the boat of I'm looking for a job, and it was in the boat of I think I'm going to start my own agency. And I was like, have you ever stood with your feet in two boats?
Yeah. Oh, that's not going to work out well.
Work out well. So I really felt God was saying I must pick a boat. It's like that verse in James. He can't bless, like if you're standing with your feet on two paths, he can't bless one. We can't, because you might be like, oh, why did you bless this path? And when I wanted to take this one, and he's like, so he's like, pick a path. So I picked one and I said, okay, I'm going to go for the entrepreneurship. And like literally within 3 days, I had my first 2 clients. They signed up for a retainer. It wasn't much, but I started my little agency and started growing it and learned. Because even though I worked in small agencies many, 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 many years ago, I never really run my own thing. And being an entrepreneur is not for the faint of heart. You'll know, but it is hectic. Like I had to learn everything, like finances have never been my strong point. And I had to learn like the whole gamut. And I've made so many mistakes. I am, shape or form, the perfect model of the entrepreneur. But I learned a lot. And my whole background is, I want to help my customers grow. That's my drive. I want to help them grow. And I use digital marketing because it's the most cost effective to help them grow and help them reach a bigger audience and help them achieve their goals. Because digital marketing it's really measurable and trackable, and it's actually quite easy to do if you know what you're doing. But yeah, so that's really where it came from. And it's been an unbelievable learning curve. In fact, I've got if you see just off camera, I've got a sort of like a longhorn steer cow. And I always say that I started life as a dairy cow. You know, like when you work in corporate, you're like a dairy cow. You're told
Mhm.
where to eat, you're enclosed, you go with a herd. And when you become an entrepreneur, it's like they took that dairy cow and they put me in the Kruger National Park, which is this massive wild park of wild game. And I was a dairy cow in a
In a wild game.
wild space. And I had to learn how to become braver. And I slowly transformed into this longhorn steer. I mean, my first client that didn't want to pay me, I think it was a 2,000 Rand, $100 bill. I nearly shut the business down. I was like, I can't do it. It's too hard. You know, and
Really?
now I sit with like much bigger problems, huge salary bills. Every month I have to make it, but you grow bigger. And, you know, that's
Wow.
what, that's what it's
Wow.
about.
That's an incredible journey. I mean, you've been doing this for quite some time already, and now you're expanding your network, not just focused in Africa, although it's primarily based there, right? And that you're expanding into different other
Yeah. Yeah.
continents. And you also work fairly with business to business and helping really what you said, helping the businesses grow. Dylan, as people of faith as well, a lot of our listeners tuning in right now probably thinking like, wow, is that really possible? Is the digital space and digital world really available for a small business like me? Like, is there space for me there? Isn't it too crowded, or is it really as promising as it presents itself?
Well, absolutely. I mean, I think of digital as the other face to face and face to face with a lot of people. So it gives you an opportunity to really reach more people faster, quicker, cheaper. You know, whatever your message is, whatever it is that you wish to talk about, whatever your theme is as a business or as an individual, you know, you can find your audiences very quickly and very easily on digital medium. Now, the thing I wanted to just make clear that some of my companies struggle with this is there's three divides. Okay.
Mm,
So the one, your personal private social media channels where you post your dog and your kids and what you ate,
yeah.
that we're not talking about that. Nobody
Mm,
is like, that's you and ring fence to your family and friends. Unless the people who are connected there are very much a part of who you are and your business
mm,
and that, you know. So we're not talking about that. So when I started off, I created professional personal accounts. So I created a Dylan Kohlstadt Facebook, which is a professional Facebook, of professional LinkedIn, because I wanted to actually play with like being a thought leader in the space. It's really an experiment for me. Everything I post on LinkedIn and everything I post on Facebook and Instagram, it's me trying to learn how to work these channels in order to reach my audience with my message and how to connect with my tribe of people who want to hear what I have to say. And I have to
mm,
say, you're not for everybody. You're not for everybody.
mm,
Rather niche and decide who your small, not micro tribe is and speak to them. Like you've got your story. You are a cancer survivor. You are a divorced mom. You are a missionary into Africa. You are an NGO who helps the pick your niche and stay niche. Don't try and appeal to everyone because you're never going to appeal to everybody.
that's true.
And
Sure.
and then you've got your company profile pages. So like the brand, all the Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitters, and all of that on for the company. And for yourself, you can just pick, 2 or 3 where you want to be active, or even just one that you really like. That's your professional individual. And you might be like, no, I don't want to be in front of the camera. No, just my brand, just my brand. And that's totally fine as well. It's not for everyone.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that was a lot of gold nuggets there. I mean, that's true. We're not talking about the dogs and the pictures and the food. We're talking about a bigger platform here in terms of like sharing your messages out. Dylan, I'm curious because you've worked with so many companies already. Given your experience with vast industries in different continents, what are some of the most common mistakes you see entrepreneurs make when trying to grow their business digitally?
Oh, that's interesting. I think a mistake is, maybe trying to control it too much and not trusting the marketer who's helping you. And you need to, not all marketers are created equal. Everyone has varying degrees of experience. And unfortunately, the more experienced are often a little more expensive. So if you are in the lower end of the budget, you don't have a huge budget, you're forced to work then with people who are cheaper. And you do have to check everything and make sure everything that's going out is on brand. But I would say that probably not understanding, in the NGO space, you might need funding or you might need donations. And so everything that you do is driving that. But on the other hand, you've also got brand awareness and brand building. So the two have to work hand in hand. You have to do brand awareness content, which has no particular call to action, like fund now. It's more just like get known and find people and connect with them. But then you do have your content that's slightly more driven. And I suppose it's just creating, a good brand awareness and then knowing which channels do what. So email marketing is great for driving donations, but also create nice content. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. Donate now. Your website, very, very important. Or a lot of what you're doing, what you stand for, who you are, who you help, but also that donate page and those donate buttons. Like I find sometimes the donate page, depending on how advanced the NGO is or the NPO or the nonprofit, whatever you call them. Sometimes it's quite a shallow page, but think of every single conceivable way that someone would like to give. It could be Patreon. It could be, like a funded TikTok, donate, subscribe to TikTok funded. It could be EFT. It could be a debit order. It could be credit card, and cater for all of those different ways that people might want to. And then make me know that I can trust you. If I'm giving you my bank details, you need to give me a lot of information that builds trust. So not known, or if it's new to me. Yeah, I think that's important.
I love what you said, that a big mistake is trying to control the result of the marketing, right? A lot of the new entrepreneurs who are venturing into the digital space want to control the result of marketing, of what they do digitally. I remember I had an experience before that one of my clients said, we did Facebook ads, but it didn't work really. I just spent this amount of money, but it didn't work. But actually, I think what you're getting there is actually the information of why and the learning curve of the process.
Exactly.
But I think people don't understand that is part of it.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I often say there's no silver bullet with digital marketing. There's no magic wand or miracle that can happen. Very, very, very little content actually goes viral by itself. Most of the time you have to boost it. And it's all the continuous learning. I say to my clients that it takes 3 months for us to learn before you start seeing results. It can take up to 3 months. We have to learn and we have to tweak the knobs and the dials, and we have to see what kind of content gets the right response, and are we targeting the right audience? Are we using the right channel? And I want to pull apart that word, it didn't work, because whenever somebody comes to me and says it didn't work, that's a big unpack. I need to see the artwork. Maybe it was the artwork. Maybe it was a bad video. I need to see the audience. Maybe they boosted to the wrong audience. I need to see the budget. Maybe the budget was too small. I need to see the platform. Maybe it was wrong for the platform. Maybe the time of year was wrong. It was December and everyone's on Christmas leave, or it was June and July, summer holidays. I don't know. There's a lot of unpack in it didn't work. And so you have to really interrogate, because now in the world of digital marketing, we've got so many numbers, and we actually end up sometimes suffering from analysis paralysis, because you can drill down and 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 still not really know the bigger picture. So we really spend a lot of time interrogating the data to try and see the insight and, the learning.
Yeah. And I mean, you also mentioned earlier, and I loved what you said, as much as you can't control the result, but what you can control is building information that allows people to trust you more. And I think that's very, very important. Asking the brands, we represent Jesus in the marketplace. And even I think creating relevant content, that making sure that people, get that heart, even without screamingly, like, you know what I mean, being weird about it.
Well, exactly. And I think when you're starting out, you just don't have the budget. So basically you have to do it yourself then. If you don't have the money, you need to find someone who will do it for free for you. Like maybe you hire an intern who just studied marketing or digital marketing, and you get the intern to do it for you. When I started my business, I had to bootstrap. I built my own website. It was nasty. I built it on this free app that come with Max, which has now been discontinued. And it looked terrible, but I built the whole thing myself. I wrote all the pages, and I wrote an article called 5 People Who Should Never Design Your Website. And that article, I then sprayed out to as many press emails that I could find, scrape off the internet. And I got picked up by a little TV show in South Africa, the Jeremy Maggs show. And then I embedded that video on my website, and that video brought me one of my biggest clients, who's still a client today, that video of me being interviewed on that TV show. And that was from one article. And I think, I actually got I tweeted it out and they found me via Twitter.
That's so fun.
Oh no!
Do you feel called to build something incredible, but self-doubt is holding you back? Do you have a God-given vision burning inside you, but are unsure if you're truly on the right path? Well, stop feeling stuck and join the Masterpiece Kingdom Brand's free online course, The 7 Signs You Are a Kingdom Brand. Discover the key traits of a kingdom brand and gain the clarity and confidence you need to pursue your God-sized dream. This on-demand course will provide you with a 10-part video series exploring a 7-sign checklist that will clear the confusion, ignite your inspiration, and ease your anxieties. We understand the fear that comes with taking that leap of faith, so you don't have to walk this path alone. You can finally break free from feeling stuck and embark on the incredible journey that awaits you. Visit www.masterpiecebrands.com and sign up for the free 7 Signs You Are a Kingdom Brand online course today. Speaking of starting small and scaling into digital marketing, many small business owners have limited resources. We all know that.
Yeah.
Can you share just some cost-effective digital marketing tools and strategies that can deliver the most significant impact with
Yes.
less resources? Because I think a lot of our listeners would want to just also know how and where to start.
Look, I must tell you about my absolute best favorite thing in all the world. It's called search engine optimization, SEO. You'll be amazed at how few companies actually use SEO. But imagine I gave you a big fishing net or 20 big fishing nets and you just threw them out in the ocean and they just continuously caught fish for you. And every once in a while, they bring in a whale. If you'll pardon the horrible fishing analogy, because I love fish and whales and I don't like mass fishing. But on a marketing level, it's okay to use the analogy. But all your other marketing methods are like standing there with a fishing line. And the minute you stop paying Google for search ads, Google sits down and takes the fishing line out the water. And if you don't pay me to do your lead generation for you, we take the fishing line out the water. But SEO, that once I've built that fishing net, it lays in the water. I've actually created a little 45-minute video during lockdown. I had a little lockdown live series where I was just teaching people how to do stuff. And it's a full mini how to do search engine optimization yourself in 45 minutes. Create these pages that people find. I've got to tell you, for ShiftOne, 99% of our customers come through our search engine optimization. They find it online and they fill out our form. And it's all because a couple of years ago, I created that page and it brings the people in. So, I would say invest in some SEO if you can. It's an investment in your site. It's not an expense. You're investing in your site. And don't neglect your email marketing, because think of it this way. I can follow you on social media, but I don't go on Facebook, so I didn't see your post. And I follow you on LinkedIn, but I only go on LinkedIn once every 3 weeks and I didn't see your post. And I follow you on Twitter, but, I was there morning, but you weren't there and I didn't see your post. However, I clear my inbox religiously, both my private inbox and my business inbox. I clear them. And even if I just saw your email coming in and delete it, I still saw it.
Yeah.
So your subject line in your email is the most important thing, is that you're emailing me and hopefully I've subscribed. And hopefully I'm interested, because the more interested people are, the better your response is going to be. The more relevant, the better the response. But email marketing is something that people see as spam, but it's only spam if it's not useful information to me.
Yes, I totally agree. 100%. It's only spam if it doesn't have value. I love what you said. It's just the fishing line. I also love that analogy. It's like really, it's so true. The longer your net is in the water, the more fish that you'll probably get. So that's really, really valuable tip there, Dylan. Wow. I could listen to you the whole time and I'm like, my heart is just beating fast because it's so good. And I think that would be very helpful for our masterpiece makers out there who are listening to us. And I think in the whole of this journey in digital marketing, and again, at least for masterpiece, and I'm sure you also share the same heart, we really want to bring light into this space
right?
Yeah.
And I know there is this term that you mentioned to me when we met, this term called digital evangelization.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
can
Digital
you
evangelism.
can you just, on a personal standpoint, can you please
Yeah.
tell us what it means for you?
At heart, I'm an evangelist. As a marketer, I'm an evangelist for my customers, but for the Lord and for what I believe in, I'm also an evangelist. Tonight, I'm actually going out on the streets and telling people about Jesus like a
Wow.
real crazy lunatic. So, digital evangelism is literally what it says, it's about how do you tell people or share your beliefs or help people. We live in a dark world. We live in a world where hopelessness is out of control,
Mm.
anxiety is out of control, stress, fear. People have overwhelming fear and anxiety, and we have the answer. We have the light. We have the truth, and people need to hear it. They can choose whether they want to accept it or not. But if no one's telling them, how are they supposed to know? And where I live in Germany, I read a stat the other day that only 10% of the population believes in God. So we're sitting in a very, very dark time. So I actually created a separate social media account for my digital evangelism called Dylan_on_God. I haven't been active there for a while, but for a long time, I created separate content. So I had two professional accounts. I had my digital marketing entrepreneur hat, and I figured those people weren't following me for spiritual reasons. But in my description in my bio, I said, follow me here if you are interested in my spiritual journey. And so I created a separate account, which is just God, worship, spirit, crazy Bible stuff. And if you follow me there, then that's really where I share, like my spiritual insights, my thought,
Wow.
where the Holy Spirit leading me. So yeah, I absolutely think that digital marketing can be used for digital evangelism. And I think that churches should definitely be stepping up their game, creating content that is shareable by their congregation. If every church or every organization creates content that their followers can share or easily just repost on their platforms, I may not have the confidence to tell my friends what I believe, but I could post a video or I could share some content, not just Bible verses on pretty backgrounds, but actually ramp it up a little bit, create some video. And testimonies are testimonies are probably the best thing that anyone can do, which is people telling their stories, and just put that out there. Like I spend a lot of time on YouTube just watching those testimonies. They're so inspiring.
Dylan, you are just nailing it. I love everything that you said, and I can really just listen to you the whole time. This is so cool. I thank you so much for challenging our masterpiece makers and just even giving our listeners permission to do this.
Yeah.
I think it's liberating. I think it's freeing to hear somebody doing this and coming from you as well. I would love to wrap our conversation with this last question that I have. You've achieved remarkable success with ShiftOne while being passionate and an advocate for excellence in everything that you do. Can you share how your faith influences your leadership style and the way you run your company?
Thank you. Yeah. So look, there's been times when business has nearly run out of money and nearly gone under, quite a number of times where I've absolutely just clung to God. And I remember the one time my business was about to go under, I was just losing money every single month. I was losing money, and I couldn't work out what I was doing wrong. I even paid really expensive mentors to help me, and no one could tell me what to do. And I was terrified out of my wits. And then the Holy Spirit showed me, you're looking at the fear picture. You're looking at what can go wrong. Like turn here and look at the faith picture. Looking there, like look there. And I switched my eyesight to there, and I just started declaring, and I started saying, this is my inheritance, this will happen. And I also fasted, and I didn't even do like a hardcore fast. I fasted, listen to this. I fasted 3 days a week, 1 meal a day for 3 weeks. So it wasn't like even full day fasting. It was just like, and I set my intention, Lord, show me what is wrong. Show me what I must do. And within probably about, I would say 2 weeks, I had the full download. I got a series of 5 revelations that just dropped like this, boom, 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 boom. And I knew exactly what I needed to do. I called my HR manager. We retrenched half the team. We went into massive reshift of the company. And that was a horrible time, horrible time. But unfortunately, I had to do it, and I had to do it fast because I was losing money and I was like literally about to go under. And yeah, the Lord has blessed me I do walk with spiritual principles. And I always say God is the chairman of my business. It doesn't ring true when I say it's my business. It never rings true. I always feel like it's God's business that I'm sort of like co-managing for him. And I don't always get it right. My team will tell you, I definitely don't get it right. But I think I try to live as best as I can, that my values are the company values and our values are like nice people working hard, doing great work, working with excellence, knowledgeable people. And, we make sure that we hire people who are on brand. And we also try and only get really good clients that are nice as well and just want good results. And we don't work with like shouting and meanness and horrible backbiting. That is not our culture at all. And I must be honest with you, when I hire a Christian, I know that I'm hiring somebody who usually is teachable.
Yeah.
Like Christians have a teachability, and I'm not saying non-Christians have that as well. And there are definitely Christians who don't have that. But I'm just saying that usually I can come to you with a similar value set and say, well, this is where it's subpar. And so I try and live by that standard.
Dylan, it has been an amazing conversation. I am just blown away. I'm thankful to the Lord that you've given us the opportunity to talk to you on this show. I normally just close the episode like that, but this episode, I just want to challenge our masterpiece makers out there. I mean, we're here to help you, to equip you as best as we can to make sure you're inspired in your faith and really you're able to grow your brand and your business. So I will share the link in the description on Dylan's teaching on the SEO. I think that's a very practical step that you can take, and you can just learn about that and, follow her on her social media accounts. And yeah, Dylan, you can share to us, to our listeners as well, how they can reach you and how they can connect with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Check in the description below. I'll give all our website address, but it's www.shiftonedigital.com. And you can reach me, Dylan, at shiftonedigital.com anytime. And you can also find me on any social media platform at Dylan Kohlstadt. Just send me a message and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, and Dylan also has her podcast. Can you talk about your podcast, Dylan?
Yes. Yeah. Definitely go check out my podcast. We've got different seasons and each season is a different theme. So yeah, go and check it out. Also, Dylan Kohlstadt podcast. We interview CEOs or experts in their field or inspiring entrepreneurs or inspiring marketers. We interviewed Norbert and he's amazing. And so definitely follow my podcast. And I'd love to have anyone on as a guest. So also reach out to me and let me know what your story is. We're also happy to chat and see if there's a connection there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dylan. Thank you for being here today. And Masterpiece Maker, you've got a lot of homework to do. And why don't you, again, just listen to this episode again, take down your notes and learn as much as you can. And we thank you, Dylan. And we would love to have you sometime soon back on the show. Thank you. And we'll see you again in the next episode of Making a Masterpiece.
Thank you, guys. Bye.